I was at the stoplight on Harrisburg Road, approaching the overpass. I had finished a ice cream run for the children, and I noticed two women speaking to a person on the opposite side of the guardrail. My brain at that point hadn't caught up, but I knew it was bad. I just hit the pedal, took the light, and just did what I could to help in the situation. When I came around the SUV, I noticed the two police officers holding on to the person's wrist as the person was dangling off of 485. There was nothing to be said, so I was able to latch on to him. As I was holding on to his chin, I just kind of spoke to him about my experiences with my mother and my grandmother passing away. My mother had us all at a very early age. We lived in Brooklyn, New York. Such a phenomenal woman, but had focused so much on us that it kind of left little time for her. So she always found that there was a lack of purpose. She suffered from anxiety and depression, and she was suicidal at times herself. For it to come full circle, when I'm going and I'm looking at this individual over the overpass, instinctively it was Mom. At one point he looked at me, he said that he couldn't do it, just to let him go. I looked down at his shirt and I noticed that his shirt said God on it. You don't think that he has anything to do with all of us here for you right now. The police officer that was next to me said, okay, he's latched onto my wrist and he's not letting go. It's now or never, let's go, let's go. So at that point, it was just a combined effort to kind of hoist him up. The two officers went, grabbed him, and then threw him over the guardrail. He fell down, was on his knees, he was crying. I went over to him, put his forehead on my forehead, and just essentially said, thank you for not doing what you were planning on doing. There's a disconnect nowadays where people feel that, you know what, it's not my problem. There's a lot of compassion that goes into speaking to someone at their lowest point. I've been involved with Atrium for 14 years, and there is a sense of pride when you walk in through those halls. You have an obligation, not just to your other teammates, but to the public. We came together for a common goal, and that common goal was to help this individual that was in need. The challenges that my mother faced were always in the backdrop. And from time to time, I would fight with depression, being able to use my experiences with her to save this other man. It put to rest a lot of guilt that I had for things that I wasn't able to help my mother with. On that bridge, my life came full circle, and as much as I saved him, he saved me as well.